The ancient clock tower stands frozen in silence as the morning mist begins to slowly lift. Evan approaches the looming entrance, his heart heavy with the weight of the town's forgotten time. He strikes the heavy iron knocker, its hollow sound echoing through the stillness of the morning. The heavy door creaks open, revealing the keeper whose eyes mirror the age of the tower. Together they walk into the heart of the tower, past machines that have long since slept. They stop before the great mechanism, its golden teeth halted at an unnatural, permanent, silent pause. The keeper speaks of the rain that swallowed the town when the clock first fell silent. Evan notices the empty space where a single vital gear once dictated the flow of time. He begins to document the mechanical skeleton, hoping to restore the beat to the town's heart. A chilling warning echoes. The 13th bell will demand the price of his most precious memory. He hesitates, feeling the weight of the memories that define the man he has become today. Cold wind whistles through the glass, carrying whispers of a past that refuses to be forgotten. In the shared silence, two generations of watchers face the inevitable cost of a ticking future. Watching the sleeping town, Evan questions if the truth is worth the price of his soul. The keeper returns to his labor, leaving the choice entirely to the visitor's own fragile heart. Then, with a heavy sigh, Evan turns away from the machinery, walking toward the exit door. A sharp click resonates as the heavy bolt slides, sealing the keeper and his secrets away. Outside, the village remains still, unaware of the choice waiting within the silent clock tower. As the clouds part, the fleeting sunlight illuminates the path back toward his quiet, lonely home. He begins the slow walk home, his mind racing with the weight of the impossible decision. Through the winding streets, the quiet beauty of the town seems almost frozen in a dream. He pauses by the narrow stream, watching the water flow just as time has ceased here. Staring into the rippling surface, he wonders which memory could possibly be worth losing forever. A sudden breeze stirs the autumn leaves, a gentle reminder that change is always inevitable here. With renewed resolve, he picks up his pace, leaving the shadow of the tower behind him. He finally reaches his own home, nestled deep within the embrace of the quiet ancient forest. The familiar warmth of his home greets him, a sharp contrast to the cold stone tower. He sits at the wooden table, the wood worn smooth by years of his quiet contemplation. Opening his notebook, he prepares to write, hoping to find the answer hidden in his own memories. As he writes, the quiet house seems to hold its breath, waiting for the story to unfold. Outside, the garden thrives in the sunlight, unaware of the gravity held within the house walls. A slow sip of water helps clear his mind as he continues to search his own heart. As the afternoon light begins to shift into amber, the house grows warmer and more nostalgic. Looking at the faded photograph, he finds the source of his most cherished and painful memory. He touches the faces in the photo, a faint, sad smile dancing on his tired lips. The soft curtains flutter, whispering stories of days that have long since passed away. He tucks the memory away, knowing it is a part of him that he must choose to protect. Rising from his seat, he glances around the room, finding comfort in the quiet, humble life. From afar, a deep, resonant sound hums through the valley, calling to the forgotten time. Startled, Evan freezes, listening as the ancient clock tower begins to stir in the distance, Stepping out onto the porch, he watches the horizon, where the tower stands tall and dark. As the sun dips low, the sky burns with a deep violet hue, mirroring his internal struggle. He grips the railing tightly, feeling the pulse of a decision that is finally being made. The birds retreat to their nests as evening wraps the forest in a soft, dark blanket. Turning back, he shuts the door on the cooling evening, his choice now solidified in stone. He lights the lantern, casting a warm, comforting glow throughout the small, familiar living room. Sinking into his chair, he watches the embers in the fireplace fade into a soft, quiet glow. Drowsiness finally pulls him back into a light, uneasy sleep as the night deepens around him. As the lantern flame dies, the room slips into a deep, velvety shade of quiet night. The moon shines through the window, bathing his sleeping face in a soft, silvery radiance. Another toll rings out, clearer and closer, disturbing the peaceful quiet of the midnight air. He wakes with a jolt, the sound of the bells still echoing in his startled heart. He stands up, a newfound determination driving him back into the dark, cold night. Stepping out into the moonlit forest, he walks with a purpose he did not have before. The trees stretch their long, dark shadows across his path, guiding him toward the tower. He emerges at the plaza's edge, the clock tower standing like a silent sentinel against the sky. He reaches the door, pressing his palm against the cold iron. It remains firmly locked. Circling the perimeter, he searches for any crack, any way to enter the frozen tower. He spots a narrow window, left slightly ajar, his only chance to reach the mechanism. He begins to climb, his fingers gripping the ancient stone, determined to reach the light. With a final effort, he slips through the opening and lands inside the heart of time. The keeper is waiting in the shadows, his expression unreadable, as if he expected this visit. They stand before the great gears, a final meeting between the watcher and the wanderer. The missing gear is placed in Evan's hand, shimmering in the light of lost history. With a steady hand, he places the gear into its orbit, and the tower begins to moan. Slowly, the machine wakes, its golden teeth biting into the rhythm of the new dawn.
Are you prepared to pay the price?
The 13th bell strikes.
Yes,
a deep
for the sake of the
sound
town.
that marks the moment a memory is taken. He falls to his knees, feeling a piece of his history vanish into the cold air. The keeper catches him, looking up as the town below begins to move once more. Across the town, the clocks begin to chime in unison, the time finally flowing. Evan looks around. The weight of the memory now gone. He leaves the tower behind, walking into the dawn of a life he now feels new. The keeper watches from the high window as his silent duty continues to tick on. And finally, the town begins its day, moving forward